Welcome to the Molloy Women's Lacrosse Preview. I'm Rick Rissetto here with the head coach of the Molloy Lions Women's Lacrosse program, Tom Campolettano. Tom, you've been the only coach in this history of this program, and you've seen this team change, you've seen the game change. Talk a little bit about what the changes have been like for you since you first started here with this program back, it seems forever ago, now 10, 11 years back to '06, which was the first inaugural season.
Well, I mean, the first big change is the fact that now this is a destination that girls want to come here. They want to come here, number one, for our academics, but they also want to be a part of the Molloy College Women's Lacrosse program, which is accredited, I guess, to me, my staff, to the school, to the athletic department. So it's a great thing. The other thing is I've seen the game grow. When I took over 11 years ago, there was 47 teams in Division II. We're fast approaching 100. So it's growing rapidly.
In your conference specifically, you have the teams that everyone talks about in LIU, Post, and Dowling, but last year you saw Roberts Wesleyan take a few steps forward. Bridgeport had a solid season, and you guys did as well. You guys got to the East Coast Conference semifinals, were the number 4 seed in the tournament. What was the key really last year? Why was last year such a success in your mind?
For us or the conference?
I think for you guys mostly.
You know what? We had a good group of upperclassmen. We have a real nice balance with some of our younger girls who returned this year. We just had the right mix. We did suffer a couple of injuries here and there, and I think that might have held us back a little. And so we'll see. Hopefully this year things will develop a little bit more, but we'll see what happens with going forward.
9-7 record last season. Picked third earlier this week in the East Coast Conference preseason poll. Surprised? Figured you were exactly where you were picked, where you're supposed to be. What was your reaction to the preseason poll?
I think part of it is, St. Thomas had a great group of seniors last year. They ended up third in the conference. That group graduated, so I think what has happened is, everybody votes Post because none of us have beat Post. Nobody's beat Dowling, so, they seem to be the lock at 1 and 2, and I guess that we return more than anybody. I don't know. I think, honestly, I think after Post, I think it's really a wide open conference this year. And then who knows? Post did take some hits along the way, so maybe somebody catches them on a down day along the way.
Now, you mentioned the returners, and I think you mentioned one of the bigger keys in that you have 5 all-conference players last season. All of them are back, including Megan Orlando, who's in her graduate year, Chelsea Bauer is a senior, along with last year's Rookie of the Year and Jessica Markowitz, Cooper Sesselman. You have a lot of the offense back. So what does it mean to you to have all those players that are back for another season here in Rockville Center?
We don't have to reteach. They know our philosophy. They know what we want to do. We know what they can do. We had a couple of young players into the mix, and Jess is a year older. Cooper's probably has established herself as, if not one of the top midfielders, if not the conference along the East Coast. So, Katie O'Brien gives us great senior leadership as along with Kelsey Doherty. Chelsea, Meg. They just bring a lot of maturity, and that's a big plus.
Now, in the offseason, in the preseason, you did add several freshmen to the mix, and Michaela Siegler, Brianna Wilson are names that will stick out as players who are taller, but is also, remember from one of your quotes, one of the better players that could possibly play at Molloy in Brianna Wilson. So what do you think about the freshmen? How have you seen them so far? What's really been your vantage point, and how you think they've progressed so far in their first season?
They're coming along great. They're fitting. They fit right in. Number one, they're character people, and when you have kids of good character, it makes your job as a coach that much easier. You don't have to deal with any real garbage with them. They come to practice, they come to work, and they just want to learn. They're like sponges, and they're going to give us a lot there. Like you said, the height is there, and you can't teach height. That's for sure.
Now, we talk about the goalies as well. Obviously, it's been back and forth the past few years. Laura Vetter has had some chances now, Caroline Winters, and you've added Alyssa Chetty as a freshman as well. What's that going to be like? Because you've got Winters' leadership, but you've got that upper-comer who's going to give you some depth in the net. Talk about your defensive mindset as a whole.
Well, having Caroline back there, she's one of the best stoppers that we've had here at Molloy throughout the years. We've been pretty blessed with some goalies, even though our our record may not show that we've had very, very good success in the net. And Caroline's a real good stopper. And when you have somebody like that there, the defense can sort of, I don't want to say take more chances, because Lord knows we never want anybody taking chances in the scoring, the critical scoring areas. But they have a little bit more confidence that if they make a mistake, that Caroline's going to bail them out. And Alyssa's coming. And we had a conversation with her the other day that told her, I said, listen, remember, at any given time, you could be the number one. So you got to practice every day as if you could be the one. So hopefully she's going to buy into that and follow suit. And I know Caroline's, like a big sister and giving her a lot of her experience. So it's a big help.
You start your non-conference slate in the very beginning of the year, coming up relatively soon with St. Michael's, but I'm looking more at that matchup you guys have at KO Field against the team that was ranked number 4 in the preseason in New Haven. Is that a barometer for you? Is that a measuring stick for where you think you'll be, or is that just a test for these girls about where the program could go in terms of New Haven always having that success on the Northeast 10, Adelphi's being there as well, but more so New Haven now coming up and strong. They're on your schedule. They're on your radar as well.
We've played New Haven, I think maybe we haven't played them, I should say, one time since I've been here, and that was just a scheduling glitch that we just couldn't make it work. So yeah, they're a team that we'd like to measure ourselves against what they're doing. They're a good team. They're well coached. They have a bunch of girls from Long Island up there, so it's it's like old home week to go play against some of them. Some of them have been teammates of some of our girls along the way. But every game, I don't care who it is. We're not looking past St. Mike's. That's first up. We get past St. Mike's, then we'll worry about New Haven. So that's the way we got to deal with it. Can't look too far ahead.
How much do you know about St. Michael's, being that they're your first opponent? What do you see in them? How do you think your team matches up against them?
It's the first time we ever played them. Again, they're well coached. Bridget Brady she's actually a girl from Long Island. Spent 4 years up at New Haven, so I know her from coaching against her. She coached up at New Haven, so she comes from good stock. She's learned from someone who I consider a colleague and a good friend in Division II. So they're going to be well prepared. Hopefully, we'll be better that day.
Last question, Coach. You mentioned it earlier, and I'm going to touch on it again. LIU Post, Dowling are always in that conversation as the top two. What does it take for this year, your players, your team, to take that next step and join that conversation as a top 2 in the East Coast Conference, possibly considered for an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament? No, it's a long way off, and you say one game at a time, but what's the effort going to have to be like in order to get to that point?
Oh, we're going to have to play hard. We're going to have to play hard. We're going to have to practice hard. They're going to have to buy into knowing exactly what we want to do. And you know what? We have the kind of personnel that, we can be there. Hopefully, they'll get it. They have to do it. I can't go on the field. I can't play for them. The assistants can't play for them. All we can do is put the pieces in the right place and hope that they all move in unison and we get the job done.
Coach, thanks for the time again, and best of luck to you guys as you begin your season.
Thank you, Rick.